Hi guys, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to be covering my top tips when it comes to productivity. So productivity is an area where you can get into a lot of detail, but what I find is that there are a few things you can do that will give you the most productivity gains. I'm going to call these my 3 productivity quick wins. So there's one useful thing to remember before we get into it. The first thing to remember is that being busy doesn't mean being productive. So the key thing here is that you want to be working on the most important thing at any point in time. So let's jump into it. The first quick win is planning the week ahead. So what you want to do on the weekend or on Sunday is plan for all the things that you need to do in the coming week. Now, this only needs to take 10 to 15 minutes. It may take a slightly bit longer when you're not used to it, when you're just starting out. But once you get into it and you've got the routine, you'll find it's a very, very quick thing. So you can do this at the desk, but you can also do it just sitting on the sofa, as long as you have the right tools in order to do it. You want to have a to-do list of some sort, and you want to have your work calendar or your university calendar or study calendar, whatever it is. So you want to look through at the most important meetings that you have during the week and build the to-do list tasks around those meetings first of all. So if you've got a really important meeting at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday that you need to prepare for, you either want to prepare for that on the Monday afternoon or on the Tuesday morning, depending on how much time it will take. So that task itself goes onto your to-do list. You can also think about the projects that you have on the go during the week, and if there's any key deadlines that you have during the week, and build the tasks around that. So basically you're thinking about what are the most important things I need to do this week, what are the most important meetings I have this week, and building a to-do list around that. The key thing is you have a separate to-do list for each day. Within each day, you can rank the importance of those tasks. So when the day comes, you can immediately get started with the most important things, and you don't have to spend time every single morning thinking about what are the things I need to do today. What you'll find is that as the days go by during the week, tasks will come up, and you can then change the to-do list for each day to make it a bit easier. So you can add new tasks as they come in and change the prioritization order quickly, so that every new day you can get started again straight on the most important things. My top tip in this area is to share your work or study calendar with your personal accounts, so that if you're sitting on the sofa and you've only got your mobile phone, you can access your work calendar from that as well as your to-do list, and then you can do the whole exercise from the comfort of your sofa just using your mobile phone. Now, the more barriers there are to accessing your calendar and your to-do list will mean that you need a specific place and a specific item like a laptop in order to do this process, and this just might make it very difficult to have as a routine that you can do every single week. The second quick win is to not keep all of your to-do list in your head. I've been through various different ways of recording to-do lists and tasks, and I found that nothing is better than having a to-do list app. So this is an app that's built specifically for taking to-do lists. There are various apps you can use. I personally use Todoist. I find it the simplest and the easiest to use, and I find the functions available just really, really good. So what you want to do is take all these to-do list tasks that you have from your head and put them down into the app. You want to have the app or the website available on every single device that you have. So your personal phone, your work phone, your laptop, your personal laptop, work laptop, any device that you have, you want to be able to access your to-do list. This means that wherever you are, you're able to add and edit that to-do list. The main benefit of having a to-do list app is that it makes it much easier because it's built with a specific purpose. So you're able to do things like set up recurring tasks on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. You're able to reorder tasks very, very easily and recategorize them based on how important they are. You're able to set deadlines for tasks. The whole functionality is really, really good, and it really helps to improve the way you do your to-do list. If you write things down on paper, once you change the page, you can't move and you can't prioritize things easily. So I wouldn't recommend doing a physical to-do list anymore. What might be useful is at the beginning of the day to write down physically just the key tasks that you need to complete and cross them through, because I know there's a good sense of satisfaction when you put a line through an important to-do list item. So I tend to do that some days. I will write down maybe the 2 or 3 key things that I want to do during the day. And once I've done them, I put a line through and it feels good. My top tip in this section when using to-do list apps is to find out how to do the recurring tasks. So there's typically things that you need to do every single week and you don't want to have to remember how to do them. You also don't want to clutter your calendar by putting those to-do list things within your calendar, which I see some people doing. So you can just set up a recurring task within the to-do list app. So say every Friday I need to do task X, and every time you tick it off, a new one comes for the next week. So I found that to be a really good tip for using these things. The third and final quick win when it comes to productivity is making the gains early in the day and not getting distracted. So multitasking is probably the single biggest thing that reduces your productivity. We can't multitask as human beings. We have very limited working memory, and so we need to focus on one thing at a time and do it until it's completed. Now, when you've got your phone, you've got the internet open, you've got your emails coming through, these are all distractions that take you away from doing the task that you actually want to do. So when it comes to a new day, I'll see what the most important task is to start off with. And I'll try to focus on that, give that a good hour or 2 in the morning to try and make as much progress as I can with that. What you might do sometimes is check your emails in the morning and then not look at them again until lunchtime or the afternoon. So I would recommend setting your email to offline when you're trying to focus on something, putting your phone on silent, putting it away. If your mobile phone has a focus mode, to turn that on and disable some of the apps that just keep popping up all the time to distract you. And what you'll find is that you can get through tasks much quicker with less distraction. Another thing in this area that people tend to do is work on the things that they find easiest. So there's this natural tendency to procrastinate on the more difficult tasks, even though they're the most important ones that you need to work on. This is where I find putting things in priority order in terms of your to-do list for a given day is really helpful. It forces you to just focus on the top priority task before you move further down the list. So always be prioritizing your tasks, and that should help you stay focused. So those are my 3 quick wins when it comes to productivity. Like I said, productivity is a really big area. There's a framework called Getting Things Done, which I would recommend looking into in a bit more detail. But if you do these 3 things, I think this will take you about 80% of the way to your peak productivity. And you'll see the most gains through just these 3 small things. So good luck. I hope it makes you a lot more productive if you're not doing these things already. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.